A good morrow to this fair assembly, my TJ scholars, and welcome to the finish line. The last week of school, friends. Congratulations, we have almost made it. Today, my friends, is Monday, June the 6th, and this is the last morning announcement video of this school year. So, today, June the 7th, 2021, before I get into the announcements, guys, I just want to thank you, not only for this year, I want to thank your teachers for this year, but I also want to thank you for hanging in there and indulging me with these morning announcement videos. It's just been a tough year, and it seems like we lost a lot, and so at the beginning of this year, I just wanted to do something that was sort of fun for all of us. So thank you for using your thinking skills to figure out where I was, and thanks for really working together and hopefully enjoying these videos. I also want to thank our teachers for showing these videos, because it does take some time in an otherwise really busy day. So teachers, thank you. So last week of school, my friends, let's take a look at what we have coming up. I want to give a big shout out to our PTA and our PTA president, Jennifer Beck, and next year's president, Mr. David DeCoste. They've done all kinds of things for us, including on Friday, many of you got a little taste of some PTA games that they're going to organize at recess for the next 3 days. Okay, so PTA folks will be leading some activities that are sort of like field day, except not so many kids, maybe just a little bit safer. That'll be on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. My friends, let's be thinking obligations. So what are the things that you need to do before the end of the school year? Do we have library books to return? Do we have computer chargers to return? Let's be thinking about what we need to get done. Also, last week was a very interesting and unusual STEAM night. So I want to thank Mrs. Adatoro for her unbelievable work making STEAM night something very different this year than it's been in the past. And as is always the case, she did an incredible job. And thank you to all of you and your families for participating in that. A reminder that this coming Wednesday and Thursday, so 2 days this week, Wednesday and Thursday, will be early release days. So you all are leaving us at 1:15 on Wednesday and Thursday. Now, finally, guys, I think this is the time of year where, especially at the end of the school year, this is absolutely the time to reflect. So I want to pose a couple questions to all of you Tigers out there, including our 5th graders that are leaving us. You know, this is the time of year when we look back and we can learn some things. So I want to ask just a couple of questions, and you don't need to talk about this as a class, okay? This is just for you. Here's one question I want you to think about. Think about over the entire year, how are you different now than you were at the beginning of this year? Is there any parts of you that have grown? Are there any parts of your life that are different? What have you learned this year? What do you know now that you didn't know at the beginning of the year? Think about all the central ideas that you encountered this year, like how we organize ourselves and who are we? How do we share the planet? What did you learn about each of those things? How can you combine those things, guys, into some sort of vision of how the world works and things like that? I think this is a good time for us to be thinking, how are you different? I hope that you are a lot different and that you have grown. I know that I have. And that brings us to our very last Where is Mr. Swanson for this year. Now, first of all, we need to talk about where was Mr. Swanson. Last week was sort of interesting because it was a really different place, and I want to give a shout out to any number of classes who were pretty perceptive in last week's announcements, trying to figure out where was Mr. Swanson. And a lot of you nailed it. We had a lot of people that were able to figure out that I was in the light tunnel at Detroit Metropolitan Airport. So I was at this tunnel at the Detroit airport that's really, really cool, guys. It's almost like a relaxation tunnel. And sometimes when you're at the airport, you're kind of stressed because you want to make sure you don't miss your flight and things like that, and you're hurrying along. Those tunnels can actually be sort of therapeutic, and that's what that was in Detroit. I want to give a shout out to Mrs. Cheka's virtual class. Those kids, not only did they listen to the clues that I had about the sports teams, right, like the Tigers and the Pistons and the Red Wings, but they were also looking at the people in the background of my video, and they determined, a lot of those people are carrying suitcases. So where might we see people with suitcases? So way to go, Mrs. Cheka's class. Mrs. Schmoler's class did a really good job listening to the sports teams. Mrs. Lauer and Mrs. Sheldon's class, they kind of took off on this, and they actually researched a little bit, guys, and they found out there are 9,000 glass panels that are lit by LED lights in that light tunnel. So very nice work, Mrs. Lauer and Mrs. Sheldon's class. Mrs. Scomra's class remarked that we need one of those at Thomas Jefferson Elementary. I absolutely agree. Good luck getting that funded. And then also we had correct answers from Miss Caswell's class and Mrs. Calabrese's class, Mrs. Dubois' class, and Mrs. Fay's class. So nicely done. Okay, so now let's figure out where is Mr. Swanson. So the background behind me should let you know that I am not at Thomas Jefferson Elementary. So let me give you just a couple clues, and these clues, guys, are going to be pretty skim, okay? I'm not going to give you a whole lot of clues because I'm going to ask you to think. So first of all, I live near the Courthouse Metro Station, and to get to where I am right now, I had to walk about 12 minutes, okay? So I'm about a 12-minute walk or so from the Courthouse Metro. Then let's check out this. We'll move around a little bit, and I am going to let the view be the star of this show. You can see way, way, way over here, okay, and I like heights, but Mr. Swanson's kind of wigging out right now, so hang in there with me. I don't know if you can see it very well, but way, way, way over there, guys, you see some things that we have visited before, okay? Like, for instance, it's kind of hard to see because it's small, but you can see the National African American Heritage Museum, where we have been on our announcements. Way, way, way over there, you can see the Supreme Court. We've been there. You can see the Kennedy Center here by the Potomac River. We've been there. And then you can also see way, way, way down there, way past, I don't know if you can see the runway to Reagan National Airport, but way down there, guys, is the Alexandria waterfront where we have been. So, beyond that, guys, this view is just amazing. It is just amazing, guys. You can see all of Washington, D.C. and the skyline and the river. You can see the Lincoln Memorial and the Jefferson Memorial. Guys, that is pretty cool. So, here is something that you have an opportunity to see sometime on your own if you would like. So, keep all this in mind and then ask yourself, where is Mr. Swanson? All right, my friends, for the last time this year, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to sign off reminding us that we want to be safe, respectful, responsible, just like every single day, whether we are here at school, or not here at school, but whether we're at school, whether we're out somewhere, and even long, long after you leave Thomas Jefferson Elementary. Let's do some good today. Have an awesome week, Tigers.